through their stems, roots or leaves. The method of reproduction in plants that involve the vegetative parts of the plant is called vegetative propagation. Let us learn natural methods of vegetative propagation through stems. In most of the plants, the stem is aerial, vertically upward and bears leaves, flowers and fruits. However, some stems are modified into various shapes to carry on special functions. In some plants, for the purpose of vegetative propagation, some of the lower dormant buds of the stem grow out into lateral branches. This is a kind of subaerial modifications of stem. Example is runner. Runner is a type of slender, prostrate branch which possesses distinct nodes and long internodes. It creeps on the ground and the roots are produced from the nodes. The runner develops as an axillary bud and creeps some distance away from the mother plant. The roots are given from the nodes and thus new plants develop. Grasses grow horizontal stem called runner which can develop adventitious roots and aerial shoots at the nodes. On getting detached from the parent plant, these develop into new plants. In this way, grass plants can quickly grow to cover large areas of soil. Some stems develop underground in the soil for the purpose of perennation, vegetative propagation and storage of food. These modifications of stems can be differentiated from the roots as having a node and internodes, scale leaves and buds of their axillary and terminal types. So what are the types of underground modifications of stems? Rhizomes. A rhizome is a prostrate, thickened stem creeping horizontally under the surface of the soil. It is provided with distinct nodes and long or short internodes. It possesses a bud in the axil of scaly leaf and it ends in a terminal bud. Ginger is the example of rhizome which possesses small scaly leaves and buds. Normally, the rhizomes are horizontal but sometimes they grow vertically upward. Tubers. The tubers are solid, thickened stems or branches serving for storage of food and also vegetative propagation. These tubers bear temporary scale leaves with buds in their axils called eyes. The tuber remains dormant for some time. On its germination, shoots are developed from the axillary buds, which become new aerial stems. Potato crop is raised by tubers and not by seeds. Potato possesses small depressions on its surface called eyes, which develop buds from which new plants develop. Bulbs. The bulb is also a short, specialized underground stem. In this case, the stem remains comparatively small and the food material is stored in the large fleshy scales which overlap the stem. However, the stem is no more than a thick disc or very flat cone, but it has an apical bud on the upper side and adventitious roots are found in an annual plant from the marginal portion of the underside. Bulbs of onion and lily, when planted, develop roots and shoots from the nodes. Corms. The corm is a condensed form of rhizome and consists of a stout, solid, flesh underground stem growing in the vertical direction. The swollen stem bears a number of loose, more or less sheathing scale leaves. The size of the stem is due to the large amount of food material stored in it. On top, it bears an apical bud and it bears the adventitious roots from the lower end. Examples are crocus, gladiolus, taro, which are grown vegetatively with the help of corms. This is the example of taro. Taro is the example of corm. Many roots of peculiar form and function are known among angiosperms. Some plants reproduce vegetatively through their roots. These roots are usually fleshy and also used to store food. Let us see modification of taproot. Modifications of taproot, it is meant for storage of food. Carrot is an example of conical root. In this case, the root is broad at the base and it is gradually tapers towards the apex like a cone. Beet is an example of nepiform root. The primary root becomes considerably swollen at the upper part and it becomes almost spherical and sharply tapering towards the lower end. It is also called nepiform root. Some adventitious roots also modified for the purpose of storage of food. This is an example of sweet potato. This is a sweet potato. It is an example of tuberous root. So such adventitious roots are swollen without any definite shape and they store food. Some fleshy leaves are also involved in reproduction. So in case of bryophyllum, the small plantlets grow at the edges of the leaves, and when the plantlets fall to the ground, so each plantlet grows into a new plant. So many succulents can propagate through fallen leaves.